Welcome back to Crypto Equation, the place where we decode the future of money and reveal what most people still cannot see until it is too late. Today we are going to talk about something that will surprise people in ways they are not prepared for. Owning 3,000 XRP, not someday far away, but specifically in 2025. Because the truth is, very few people understand what is about to collide next year. They look at the price today and assume the future will look the same. They look at the slow movements on a chart and assume nothing meaningful is happening. They look at headlines and assume the story ends where the articles stop. But behind the scenes, the real transformation, the one with actual consequences, is unfolding without waiting for anyone to notice. And when the world finally wakes up, it will not be a gentle wake up. It will be a shock. A wake up so powerful that the people who ignored these years of preparation will look at those holding even 3,000 XRP with disbelief. Not because it is a lottery ticket or a magical shortcut, but because of what that amount represents inside the new system that is forming at this very moment. For most people, 3,000 XRP feels small today. It feels manageable. It feels insignificant compared to the giant numbers thrown around in crypto conversations. But you must remember something powerful. Every major shift in history looks ordinary until the moment it activates. Every humble investment looks small until the system catches up. Every early position looks unimportant until the world finally realizes what it missed. And that is exactly what will happen with 3,000 XRP in 2025. Because the world is not preparing for the future loud and publicly. It is preparing quietly in the background. Banks upgrading settlement rails, financial institutions adopting blockchain infrastructure, governments designing digital currency frameworks, payment providers experimenting with tokenized money, corporations restructuring liquidity models, and global organizations calling openly for real-time value movement. The system that XRP was designed for is not some distant fantasy. It is being installed right now. The transition from traditional settlement to instant settlement is no longer theoretical. It is the new standard taking shape. But most people still judge XRP only by price. They do not understand that price is always the last thing to react. First comes infrastructure, then adoption, then necessity, and finally price. That is why 3,000 XRP today is not small. It is early, and early is where generational opportunities hide. Think about what 2025 represents. It is the year where several timelines converge into one. Regulatory clarity becomes far more defined across major regions, not only in the United States, but across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. Banks begin expanding pilots into real-world implementation. Tokenization of assets transitions from experimentation to scaling. Corporate liquidity flows begin to shift toward digital rails. Cross-border value movement demands instant settlement at levels the old system cannot handle. And the need for a neutral liquidity asset becomes unavoidable. This is the environment XRP was designed for. And this is the environment 3,000 XRP will thrive in. Because if XRP becomes the liquidity tool for even a fraction of global settlement flows, the demand for the asset will not come from retail. It will come from institutions, central banks, payment companies, and global value networks. And when demand shifts from small speculative buyers to large entities needing liquidity, the entire market dynamic transforms. Suddenly supply matters, circulation matters, liquidity depth matters, and individual early holders find themselves holding something the world no longer ignores. People do not understand how quickly financial demand can flip a market upside down. We have seen this throughout history. Technology reaches a maturity point, then adoption hits, suddenly, then demand skyrockets, then the market revalues the asset instantly, not gradually. 3,000 XRP becomes something people wish they had taken seriously long before. Not because it makes anyone rich overnight, but because it places them in the new system before the new system becomes the standard. And here is where the shock truly comes in. Most people by 2025 will not be able to accumulate 3,000 XRP anymore. They will have waited too long. They will have doubted too heavily. They will have listened to the wrong voices. They will believe the opportunity has already passed. And at that point, they will look at people who already hold 3,000 XRP with the same disbelief people once had for early Bitcoin holders, early Ethereum holders, or early tech investors who acted when the world still laughed at the idea. What shocks people is not usually the price. What shocks people is realizing they had the opportunity right in front of them and ignored it. The shock is the regret. The shock is the realization that the window was open and they slept through it. The shock is understanding that small positions only look small before the system revalues them. Because in 2025, the conversation is no longer going to be about speculation. It will be about necessity. Every institution, from banks to corporations to governments, will require liquidity solutions. Every payment system will require instant settlement. Every cross-border network will require a bridge asset. And every digital value network will require interoperability. The world will not choose XRP because of hype. It will choose XRP because it solves the specific problem the new financial era demands. And when utility becomes the driver instead of speculation, everything changes. Suddenly, 3000 XRP is not just a position. It is leverage. It is advantage. It is a seat at a table most people did not even know existed. And the reason it will shock people is because they underestimate the importance of being early. They believe opportunity is always available. They believe markets wait patiently. They believe there will always be more time. But time is the rarest currency in investing. And right now, those who hold even 3000 XRP hold something time will not always offer. Look closely at what the biggest institutions are preparing for. Liquidity on demand, settlement without friction, movement of tokenized assets, interoperability between financial networks, transparent regulated digital value systems, and a neutral asset that can bridge all of it. If XRP becomes that asset even to a modest degree, the world will not question why early holders benefited. They will question why they ignored it. Every financial reset redistributes opportunity. Not evenly, not fairly, but in proportion to awareness. Those aware early position themselves quietly, while the world debates loudly. By the time the debate ends, the opportunity is gone. 3000 XRP is not about wealth. It is not about fantasy. It is not about hype. It is about awareness. Awareness of the direction the world is moving. Awareness of the infrastructure being built beneath the surface. Awareness of how value will move in the new system. Awareness of why liquidity is becoming the center of modern finance. An awareness of how a single asset engineered for this purpose can reprice once the system requires it. The shock in 2025 will not come from a sudden price spike. It will come from the world realizing XRP was never about today. It was always about the future system being constructed behind closed doors. And when that system opens its doors, everyone who waited will run toward the same opportunity you already hold. This is why 3000 XRP will shock people. Not because of where it is today, but because of where the world is going. If you understand this, you already see further than most. And in the world of digital value, seeing early is everything. This is Crypto Equation, and the truth is simple. You do not need the perfect moment. You need the right awareness. You need the right vision. And you need to take the window seriously before it closes. Thank you for watching, and remember, the future always rewards those who prepare for it before it arrives.